plays music, story times, all kinds of shit for you. Everything goes if it's house and out from corpulent
It's pretty good when you keep letting me start videos. Duh! I find it's about as productive as, alligators producing handbags.
Yeah.
That was a fucking phrase
Yeah,
I said.
Anyway,
it's probably good that you started it,
Damn.
but bad that I ruined it.
That was bad. Anyway, I have a little tale to tell about school and a play that I was in, but was not supposed to be in. Now, I don't remember the details very much, so it's going to be kind of a haphazardly told, nonsensical tale, but that's normal with me. So bear with me. One time, we had a little play back in the second grade. My teacher, who was a pervert and would get red anytime a woman would walk into the classroom, decided to put on a little play about founding fathers or some shit, right? And I don't know if he had permission to do this because we would just sneak to the auditorium and rehearse. Anyway, eventually the time came. People were there. And I was a backstage kid because I wasn't gonna go out there, right? Freaking, this tale is horrible. Imagine that up on stage. Like, you don't want that up on stage. So I was in the back working the fog machine because when the founding fathers were around, there was a lot of fog, I guess.
Whenever I think Revolutionary Era America, fog.
Yeah,
fog.
So I was like cranking that fog out, refilling the little machine. Let's just say we went through like 85,000 gallons of fog juice. And everybody developed lung cancer.
You were the vape god before vaping became a thing.
That's a good point.
Anyway, you're vaping backstage.
I was pretty much, I was high on freaking fog juice while freaking, Ben Franklin was doing a stang or whatever. So anyway, the time comes. And I don't know what happened. I guess some kid got nervous, got cold feet or whatever. And this was like the important scene where everybody's signing the thing, right? The little
Declaration of
Independence, right? And they come up to me and go, "This dude is like, he's out. He's not doing it.
You got stage fright.
You gotta go up there." And I'm like, "But I got the fog." And then they go, "Dude, we got enough fog. Look out the freaking curtains and it's covered in fog. Everybody's freaking dead and shit." So I'm like, "Damn, dude, fog." So they get someone to cover the fog machine. They pump that baby out hardcore. So when I go out there, I get like an Undertaker entrance. Fog rolling in, freaking spotlights hitting, gongs going on and going off and shit.
Now, just to clarify, what exactly was your role? What
I don't know. To this day, I
didn't tell you what to do.
They didn't tell me what to do. They told me you gotta go out there and just read this little paper. Gave me the little paper. Lost that immediately. The second I put my fog machine down, don't know where that paper is.
It was lost in the fog.
Probably. I did reach down for it. Couldn't find it. Just found fog. So I went out there with a handful of fog. Freaking wowing the crowd. Throwing fog out and shit. Gongs going off. Spotlights hitting. Entire crowds.
Why is there gongs?
I don't know. Entire crowds freaking cheering, right? Hell yeah. This guy, who I still don't know who I was, comes out. I go up to a little table and shit. Go up there, and I freeze, dude. I'm looking for my lines, and I can't find them. They're back in the fog machine. Woo. So I'm like, I'm not going back there because I almost died back there in the fog. So I'm just, screw it. I'm going to wing it. And then I look out, woo, and I see everybody, and I freeze, dude. By the way, I wasn't even in costume. Everybody was in costume. There was like Quigs walking up in there and shit. And I just go up there in my freaking warm-ups because I used to be a warm-up fiend. So I go up there in my warm-ups and shit. Freaking Ben Franklin is doing his little kite shit. And I'm walking out with warm-ups. So I go up there. And I get up to the freaking table. Everybody's looking at me. The only thing I can think of is, I lift my hand up. All the fog raises with it. And I slam my hand on the hardest I can on the table. And just go, "Yes." Zero reaction from anyone. But I'm like committed, so I'm just there like, woo! This is good! I'm just there with my hand on the placed firmly on the table. No one's saying shit. The fog keeps pumping. They close the curtains. And there's just dead silence. And then they tell me to leave. I don't know what happened after that. Kind of passed out from all the fog.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I would take that version of American history over the real thing any fucking day. Steven Spielberg's The Fucking Fog.
Freaking fat guy walking out with warm-ups and shit.
I love it.
Later on, we also did another play with the same guy. Again, I don't think he had permission to do that. Anyway, we would sneak out into the auditorium, which was always locked, but he always seemed to have a key. We go in there. Again, I'm in warm-ups. Green warm-ups this time. Which just happened to be the wardrobe choice that everybody needed to be in. So I was like, shit. Some kid went down with a flu or some shit. And I just happened to be wearing the perfect wardrobe. Green warm-ups. I don't know what this play was. All I know is that there was massive, super heavy wooden apples involved. So I'm back there with the fog machine, cranking that baby out. You know, there's like a musical going on outside, and I'm back there with the fog machine. It seems this guy's idea of a good play was just crank as much fog out as you can.
The less you see, the better.
Yeah, so I was back there with making sure you don't see shit. And
At all.
now I may be wrong, but the way I remember it is someone actually got injured because of the apples being so big. They hurt their backs.
The fuck?
So they come up to the biggest, fattest piece of shit they can, and they're like, yeah, this guy won't hurt his back. Look at his long hair. So they give me the massive freaking apple, and I go out there, and I'm like, I go up there, and I realize that my apple is bigger than everybody else's apple. And I'm like, oh no. And sure enough, the music slows down, and it's time for a solo. And I'm the lead apple. And I'm like, whoa! So there's just silence. Spotlight on my ass. I'm a big ass apple. And I have nothing to say because they didn't give me the music. I just thought I was a background apple. Lead apple. So I drop my freaking massive apple and leave. And I puked. I puked in the backstage. Now, I never told you this tale. I might have, sadly I did not exaggerate any of it. It actually did happen like that. It was terrible. It was horrible.
Oh, man. It makes me wish I was in more plays. I wasn't. I was only in one play. Well, I tried to be in another one, which was a production of Dracula, a one-act play, and got kicked out because I failed math because I was too busy sleeping.
All right.
Now, I wasn't known for failing classes, but fuck that Birkenstock-wearing bitch that taught that class because she fucking sucked.
The Burks.
And I was at a level where I could fail everything and I would still pass. So I got lazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't make that cut, unfortunately. But I was going to be Renfield and I was going to kill it.
Some fat ass Renfield.
Hey, man, you know, Renfield...
Being a lot of bugs.
I graduated from bugs to fucking bunnies and shit.
Yeah, you did.
But, yeah, I didn't make it that time. But I was involved in the play in 4th grade. And I don't know if the play was original. I don't know what the fuck. I don't even give a shit. I was a fucking 4th grader. But it was a Halloween play.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to be involved in the actual acting or anything like that because I didn't want to get in trouble with my grandmother, who was very religiously conservative. She, you know, one of those like fucking Halloween is the devil type of people.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I was just involved in the backstage, which meant fog machines.
At least yours makes sense.
No, hold on. Yeah, Halloween. But here's the thing. I wasn't the fog machine guy. This girl named Irazima. No shit. That was her name. She was the fog machine girl. But I worked in conjunction with her as there was actually some organization this apparently. She would pump out the fog whilst I provided the sound effects for what was going on. And some of the sound effects...
So you're a Foley dude.
Yeah, basically. But our sound effects were, conveyed to the viewing audience, which was like bored-ass kids eating their boogers via a bullhorn.
Oh no.
And you'd have to do the sound effects while holding the bullhorn and doing the sound effects, you know? And that projected them in the worst fucking possible way. So whenever the skeletons would come out, I was supposed to hold the bullhorn and somehow clack 2 broomsticks together.
Oh, man. Oh, you know what? They had something like that when I was.
It must have been a play that they did. Yeah. So anyway, whatever. I don't know what the fuck the play is.
Yeah.
Halloween sucks ass, something like that.
It's like these 2 little sticks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, these weren't fucking sticks. These were like big ass industrial brooms, and I'm like a fucking pint-sized puny dick prick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I can't do that. So this Irozima chick, she starts to help me with these sound effects. And it gets to the point where the sound effects are just way fucking illogical.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's a ghost and I have to, woo, while it's at the same time clacking brooms. And, you know, there's a werewolf, so I'm howling at the same. This is not working the fuck out, right? So I suggested I should just do all the sounds with my mouth.
Yeah.
And the teacher's like, oh, that's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? Because you're a fucking moron, apparently. So I start doing the sound effects with my mouth, right? So skeleton comes out, I'm like, or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And I actually do it so well, which probably sucks because I was a kid.
Definitely sucked.
But he's like, yeah, this is way better, and it's, you know, so it's working, right? Well, this goes on for weeks as we prepare to put this show on for, you know, the kids.
At least
right?
you had preparation. Mine was literally.
Oh yeah, we had prep for sure.
Go out there.
But it all goes to shit. Trust me. So the time of the play comes, and to do the play, I had to stay after school. So I needed an excuse to stay after school. And so Grandma goes to pick me up, and my little 4th grade ass goes out there and says, I have to stay after school. And she knew I wasn't going to get in trouble and stay after school for detention. So she was, because I was a little goody two-shoes back then. And she was like, why? And I'm like, because, and my excuse was, I have detention. Ooh. And she's like, okay, go ahead. Which led to her going, why the fuck does he have detention? So while I'm over there preparing to do the little fucking sound effects, thinking I'm all clever and shit, she goes and asks the principal. The principal says, oh no, he's not in trouble. He's fucking doing this play. Ooh. And she's like, what's that old play about there, Prince? Ooh. Ipple, not Prince. And he goes, oh, I don't know. About that holiday, about fucking ghosts and demons and shit.
You know, the one you hate with a freaking passion?
So
one!
She takes out her fucking crucifix.
Yeah, she does.
Carries it down to the old auditorium.
Yep.
Finds me backstage and goes, what the fuck you think you're doing? And I says, nothing. I'm about to go sit in the audience. So I go up to my teacher, who is the director, of course, and I go, hey, I'm out. I can't do it on account of this. And he's like, you couldn't have told me this any other fucking time. So I'm like, I'm sorry. Can't, disobey the old grandmotherly unit. So I go and sit in the fucking crowd and proceed to hear the worst fucking play in the history. One, you couldn't even hear what they were saying. Yeah. So really the only thing that stood out were the loud-ass bullhorn effects. And now there's none of that. Nope. So all you're seeing is a bunch of fucking fog. Probably because somehow you were there.
I was back there. Yeah, I was like,
in spirit. Yeah. And a bunch of kids standing around, not even gesticulating. There wasn't even none of this because they were so nervous. Yeah. So it's a bunch of dumbass kids in stupid, cheap dollar store costumes standing in a fog-filled stage for about a good solid 45 minutes.
God.
Worst play ever. Anyway, that's my play story. But it doesn't have anything on you. Because yours would actually be worthy to watch.
I would want to watch mine. Again, to this day, I have no idea what they were about. I know Brent Franklin was there, is all I know.
I mean, he'd have to be.
Yeah. And there was apples.
And fog.
And I almost broke my back on the goddamn apple. And I puked afterwards.
Anyway, this has been us talking about our school days. D-A-Z-E, because we're hip like that.
Yeah, we is.
And we're not. The point is, I may have, that's Goontick. Hit like, share, and subscribe, and those notification buttons to get them alerts. Join the squad. There, I fucking said it. Are you happy, you YouTube? I was gonna.
Oh man,
that was unintentional.
Yeah,
I did not mean to say that. But anyway,
YouTube.
Thanks for ruining everything. YouTube. Jeez, man. Yeah. Gotta be careful with that one from now on. That was a joke. Okay, fuckers? No, actually, it wasn't a joke. It was a mistake.
It was a legit mistake.
So before that gets used against me,
you mean
I am clarifying. I am clarifying that right now. Anyway, we're out.